Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Liz and I garden in a zone 5B in Ontario, Canada. Today we're going to be doing some work in the garden. I have a plan to do 3 tasks. So one not so fun one and 2 more fun planting projects. So first I want to take care of all of those pesky weeds that are all back there behind the garden. That's the back border bed. So there's a bunch of tubular weeds that are back there that set seed and then they just spread everywhere, and I'm trying to get them under control before they start seeding. So I'm going to go back there and hand pull as many as I can, and then after that I hope to get a couple plants in the ground. I'll show you the plants right now that I'm wanting to plant, and I'll show you a couple of the supplies that I'll be using today. So I've got my Gorilla cart here. This cart is so handy. It's been great so far. These are the tools that I'll be working with today. So I've just got my shovel in there. I do have some pruners just in case there's some bigger branches that I want to take off. And then I have some snips down there, my garden gloves, and my Garden Answer kneeling pad. If you guys don't have one of these yet, they're so awesome. Big fan of Laura and Garden Answer here. And then I have some Gaia Green all-purpose organic fertilizer here. So I usually give that to all of my plants that like fertilizer, minus sedums and a couple other perennials that don't like to be fertilized, but I'll put that in the ground while we're planting the new perennials. So I plan to plant this pincushion flower here and the reed grass. So I got those in a recent plant haul, so I want to get those in the ground today. I do have a spot picked out for the reed grass for sure, but I'm not sure about the pincushion flower yet. We'll see. And then I do want to get this Scotch moss planted up in its pot that I got as well. So the pincushion flower, I did go over all the specs on these plants in my garden haul video a couple videos ago, so you can go back and see that if you'd like. But it's a purple pincushion flower, or scabiosa. Super pretty. They bloom for a long period of time in the summer. It blooms early summer as well until frost, and it's a zone 3. I have one of these in my garden already. And then the variegated reed grass. So it's called Overdam, and it is a Calamagratis type grass. And it blooms early to midsummer. We have full sun grass, and it's hardy down to zone 4. I have one of these already in the garden as well. It's right back there. So right here. It's very pretty. So I'll show you the spot that I have picked out for the reed grass first. So over here, in between these 2 hydrangea shrubs is where I'm thinking. So this is the Quickfire Fab and the Limelight Prime, both excellent hydrangea shrubs. They're both panicle hydrangea. So I'm thinking right in between. I'm kind of missing because they kind of get hidden with all of the green backdrop. So when they're not in bloom, they kind of just fade away in the view from the window. So I just want to add some more vertical structure in between and just add a depth of texture and color. So I'm thinking back here, just straighten it up here. Yeah, so I'm thinking of planting that right there. I think that's a perfect spot for it. And I can see it nicely from the window. And yeah, the pincushion flower, we'll find another spot for that. I'm thinking maybe over here somewhere. I don't really have a lot of color here right now, just the orange, kind of the orange and red there. Yeah, so I think maybe somewhere around this area would be nice. And the Scotch moss, I'm just gonna have it potted up and then have that on the back deck table. So Okay, so now I'm going to show you some of those weeds that I'm talking about that we're going to pull today. So back here behind my back border bed is just a treed area, little like wire fence that we have here. That's just to kind of separate the garden to the back bush area, but you can see them all throughout back there, and I've pulled a ton already out of the garden bed. So they haven't set any seed yet. Give you a bit of a more close-up. And I'm gonna put the name of this weed on the screen, but if anyone else has dealt with this weed and has any tips or advice for me, that would be great. But my thoughts are, it does flower like an orange flower, and then it sets a seed and then spreads it everywhere. So I'm thinking if I can just hand pull as many as possible before they flower and set seed, then hopefully next year I won't have as much of a problem. But they're all along down there, and they go all the way down there too. So I'm not sure how much we'll get done today, but we'll try to get a good chunk done. I also just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that watched my last two videos, especially the garden tour. And thank you to everyone who commented down below. Your comments were so nice and I really appreciate it. It was my first ever garden tour, like I said, and it was so nice to just hear everybody's comments, and it's so great to meet fellow gardeners, especially ones from Ontario and Canada as well. So exciting. And yeah, thank you to all my new subscribers as well. I hope you enjoy this video. Just taking you guys back there now. So this is that border that I told you about that's full of weeds that we're going to be doing a makeover on soon. So back here is where it starts. This is what they look like here. They're kind of like a succulent tubular weed. And these ones are just starting to flower. Okay guys, we pretty much got it done. I think this is all I'm gonna do for today. So I'll just go give you a tour this way. I just tried to get it back from the fence a few feet and just threw it back there. So at least they won't be getting into the garden from this side anymore, hopefully. Just nice and clear. This was the main problem area, and I think because we used to have a big tree here before and we got it cut down a year or two ago, so I think now it's getting more sun. So just to look that way. Again, it's not perfect, but we'll see if this helps with how many weeds get in there next spring. Okay, now we'll go around front. There wasn't as many of those weeds back behind this part, so I just did a little bit there. The majority were over here, so we'll go and look at this area. That looks better. This area is all cleaned up. I wanted to get that done before I mulched. So I plan to get some mulch later this week or this weekend. So hopefully our next video will be us doing some mulching. Okay, so now we'll get on to the next task. So we're going to plant the two plants, the grass and the pincushion flower, and then we're going to pot up the Scotch moss at the end. So I think we'll start with the grass. Just a reminder, this is the spot we're going to plant it today. Not really root bound at all, so I just open that up a little bit. I might just get the hose and water in the root ball before we pack the soil around it. So I have a 100-foot Gardena hose reel in my backyard with the one sprayer for it, and it's a retractable hose. It's a lifesaver. If you don't have one, definitely think about getting one if you can. So I'm just going to water in the hole and just give the root ball some water. Okay, I'm just going to give it a drink of water now. Water it in good. Quite sunny right now, so it may be hard to see, but I'll zoom in. Okay, so let's plant the pincushion flower next. Okay, so I have this open area right here that I think it'll look nice in. I just put a couple pieces of wood here as kind of steps because I usually will throw kind of my spent blooms and weeds and stuff back there. That spot is kind of a empty one. The Russian sage, it's denim and lace Russian sage that's there behind it. It's still growing. I only planted that last summer, so it's still putting on size. So those will eventually fill in this whole area, and I might have to transplant some to different areas in the garden, but for now, I think that spot looks good. Okay, I think I'm going to get rid of this one step. I'll just put it off to the side for now. Alright, I'll just test that placement. Yep, I think that'll look nice there. Just gonna put some of the Gaia Green all-purpose fertilizer again. You can smell the Russian sage. All right, so we're gonna pot up the Scotch moss now. So that's this here. And I did go over the specs in my garden haul video, but I'll just go over them again. So it's a Scotch moss aurea or aurea, A-U-R-E-A. So it's a ground cover plant. It's chartreuse green, white flowers, similar to a Irish moss, but the Irish moss has a darker green foliage. So it is hardy down to zone 4, grows 2 inches tall by 6 to 12 inches wide, and it says plant in sun or shade. I'm going to have it in this little terracotta pot here on the back deck on a table. And I'm hoping to overwinter it in the pot. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to bring it into the garage because they do say if you're going to keep a plant outside in a pot, it should be 2 growing zones less than what your growing zone is. So we're a zone 5B. So this is only a zone 4. So it might make it or it might not make it through the winter. But it definitely will make it if I bring it inside. I use the ProMix HP. It has the mycorrhiza in it as well. This is potting soil. The potting soil is a little bit dry right now, so I'm going to put a little bit in. I might actually take the saucer out for now. Put that aside. So I'm just going to fill it up here a little bit. And I'm just going to moisten this. Put a little bit too much water in there. It's going to add a little bit more soil. Just mix it around. Just have a drain hole at the bottom so the water is draining out of the bottom. Yeah, that looks better. Feels better. So I'm just going to bring it up around the sides. Okay, I'm just going to take this out and see how the root ball looks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it to about that size, kind of the thickness of the planter. So I'm just going to go around and make kind of an indent. And I'll just take that right off. That came off really easily. Take a little bit more off the bottom there. There, that fits perfectly. Take this out a little bit. And I'll just add a little bit of the Gaia green into there. And we'll pop that back in. We got it all potted up. Looks so cute there. I'm super happy with how it turned out. Can't wait to see more of those little white flowers come. Alright, so that does it for today's video. We got everything we wanted to get done, which is awesome. I'm really relieved to get all of those weeds pulled back there. I know that wasn't the most exciting thing in the world to watch, but I know I needed to get it done at some point. Glad we got that done. We got the grass in behind me there. Super happy with that. Love how that turned out. And we got the pincushion flower planted as well over there. Scotch moss we got potted up in the little terracotta pot. So I'm happy with that too. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and please don't forget to subscribe, comment below, and like. And thank you guys so much again for all your support. Really appreciate it, and I'm having so much fun doing these videos for you guys. So all right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.